What does it feel like to be in your 30s? It's tiring because in your 30s there are also expectations in so many ways, not just the fact that you're older. 70% of the time I look like a mad woman in my house. How does 30 affect your relationship with your significant other, family, and God? What is your take on microblading? How do I start romanticizing my life? Do you ever feel the pressure to get married? Okay, so this person asked, what are your plans for marriage? Marriage is not something that I alone can plan. My plan is to wait on the Lord. You know, God. I'll put the TV in the room. Hey guys, how are you doing? My name is Amarachi Obiano and you are welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, hey, thank you for being here. I do videos on mostly lifestyle, but I'm dabbling into, sit down videos just to really talk about things I am passionate about. If this is something you like, then you should consider joining the family. If this isn't your first time, hello, thank you for always being here. Thank you for your support. Today is a very good day because it's been a long time I did a sit-down video, guys. It's been a very long time. I put up on my Instagram months ago asking you guys to ask questions that you would want me to answer about being 30 plus. A few of you sent some messages. I wanted to actually shoot it with somebody, but we've not made out time to do it, so I just decided to just shoot it now. So I'm gonna first apologize for taking this long to shoot, and let us just dive into it. I'm just going to pick random questions. I'll probably be able to answer all the questions, even though some of them were sort of the same. So the first question is, what does it feel like to be in your 30s? Is it fantastic or tiring / exhausting? I would say it's a combination of everything. It's fantastic. You're a year older. I feel like that is something to be grateful for. Thinking about it, like there used to be a time I used to be so scared of, oh my god, when I'm 30, if I've not done this, if I've not done that. Like, I remember just being scared of the age 30, and thinking about it now, I'm just realizing how silly that was, because why are you scared of getting older? Turning older is a blessing. It is a blessing. It means you are alive, isn't it? Like, once you're alive, every other thing is going to fall into place. So of course it is fantastic in so many ways, not just the fact that you're older. If you are somebody who has obviously done self-work, you've been focused, you are most likely going to be in a better space in your 30s, emotionally, financially. It's not all rosy, it's a mixture of everything, but yeah, you're most likely going to be in a better place in your 30s, especially if you put the work in your 20s. So I would say it is fantastic. Is it tiring? Yes, as a girl it gets really tiring, especially when you are single. Especially when you're single. Like, at this age I'm still talking to guys, like talking to different guys, because at the end of the day, like, you want to settle down. Do you get the thing? So of course it's freaking tiring. It's tiring because in your 30s there are also expectations, but the good thing is that in your 30s you are no longer like pressured, depending on the mindset you develop in your 20s or as you get older. For one, I would say, as I started getting older, I started realizing the importance of not putting pressure on myself. I think that was when I turned like 25. I told myself, you know what, no more. Everything is going to happen in its appointed time. Wherever God says this is your time, it is your time. And my life has been better since then. And sometimes the society's expectation of what you should be doing at this age as a woman, those conversations can really piss you off. Do you get? So many things, to be honest. So yes, it can get tiring and it can get exhausting, just like every other age. But for the most part, I kind of feel like if you do the work in your 30s, you're most likely going to be a very level-headed person, you know, someone who is more in control of their emotions, who is financially stable, just somebody who has a shit together in their 30s. So yeah, I hope I answered that question well. Some nosy questions, but I will leave that for later. Please, how do you manage to keep so fit and slay at all times? First of all, thank you, because this is such a beautiful, very, very beautiful compliment. But I must clear up something. I don't slay all the time. I don't. 70% of the time I look like a mad woman in my house, but I'm making conscious efforts to start looking really good while staying at home. So I don't slay all the times. I feel like the reason you're saying this is because on my Instagram I always look put together, but that's Instagram. Instagram is you choosing what you want to put out there, and for me, I love to put cute pictures. I love to share special moments. For the most part, darling, I am here looking like a mad woman. And about keeping fit, to be very honest, I would not say I am in any way doing anything. I just feel like I am very, very lucky. I eat like a mad woman. I do not diet. I eat at any time. So I am really just lucky. But thanks for the compliment though. Okay guys, so the next question is, what are you grateful for? What is the most thing you are grateful for, and why? I would say I am very grateful for family and friends. These are people who have been with me from day one. They are home to me. They've been with me through every stage in my life, and you know, they want what's best for me. These are people that I can really be myself around. I can cry with, laugh with, people that I know genuinely love, and you know, they really love and care for me. They share in my pain just as much as I share in theirs. Don't get me wrong, I've had my fair share in bad friendships. Maybe one day I'm going to just talk about it. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I'm just really glad that these people are my people. These are people that I can call mine, and I honestly pray it stays this way. I've been blessed to come from a family that, you know, that loves me, that cares. I know that it's not everybody who has been lucky to have healthy relationships with their family, but I've been blessed to have that with my family and also my friends, and that I do not take for granted. So I am so grateful to God for, you know, choosing my family and also choosing my friends for me. That is it. The fourth question is also similar. How does it feel to be 30, and what are you looking forward to at 40? Yeah, this one has a twist. It's different, but there's a little twist in it. How does it feel to be 30? Guys, I don't know about anybody, right? But I still feel like I am in my 20s. I don't even know where we got the thought that when you're in your 30s, you probably feel old or you'll be old. I don't know. Nobody has ever guessed my age, right? Anytime I tell people my age, they never ever guess it. They are always surprised, rather. Anytime they try to guess, they never guess it right. So I still feel like that 20-year-old girl, but not naive anymore. No matter what I'm doing at this age, I know for a fact what I'm doing, and I know the consequences that I may be getting. I don't know how to explain it. It's like I'm more aware of the things I do and the decisions I make. So I still feel like I'm in my 20s, but a wiser one. I don't know how to explain it. I personally did not know that I was going to be speaking this way. I kind of felt like if I were 30 and single and no without kids, I'll probably be depressed, but that's not the case, guys. That's honestly not the case for me, and I'm so thankful. I am happy to be alive. I'm happy to be thriving. So many other things are working in my life. You know, sometimes the way we as women burden ourselves with this thing called marriage, we forget that there are so many other things happening in life. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you should not want it. I personally want to get married. What I'm trying to say is we always forget that there are so many other things in life. There are so many other things to get at 30. There are so many other things aside marriage. So we just focus so much on that aspect that we forget every other thing that life has to offer. Do you get? So if you're watching this and you're in your 20s, please, and please, there is nothing wrong wanting your marriage, but focus on the things that you can control. Nobody should take what I have said out of context. I'm saying there is marriage, but then there are other things, there are other relationships to build, great friendships. Do you understand? Like, there are so many other things, guys. There are so many other things. Yeah. And what am I looking forward to? 40. At 40, hopefully I should be married with 2 kids, my 2 daughters. Anyone God gives me, I'll take, but yeah, 2 daughters preferably. I just want to be in a place of rest, you know, a place of ease, just very comfortable. Do you understand? I'm not working hard at that point. My money is at that point in time, my money should be working for me, no more me working for money. So I'm taking the necessary steps I need to take right now in my early 30s, so that towards that age I should be chilling, something like that, you know. That's really it, you know. Yeah, just I really can't wait to see what my life would be then. God keep each and every one of us alive. I envision my 40s to be a year of ease. So yeah, just a year of ease. That's all for my 40s. Another question on 30s: how does 30 affect your relationship with your significant other, family, and God? That's a very interesting question. I am not dating. I think the time this question was asked, I was going back and forth with somebody. But I will tell you what 30 does when you're dealing with people, depending on, I don't know, I just feel like we are all different. For me, when I turned 30, I won't say zero tolerance, but I would say it's easier for you to tell when somebody isn't serious. So it's easy to just, navigate your dating life quickly. So when you meet somebody who is unserious, it's easy to tell. From a conversation, you can actually tell that this person is not the kind of person I want to be with. So it's easier for you to, detach. You are very self-aware of the things you can take and things you cannot take in a relationship. You sort of know the kind of man you want. Another thing 30 does is that you're no longer in a rush to jump into a relationship. I don't know about other people, but I'm speaking about myself and at least my friends around. When we started getting older, we actually started taking time to get to know people before jumping into a relationship. No matter how much the person comes to deceive you with money, because that is what men are known for. They would come, buy you all the gifts, buy you all of this, all of that. Like, I've not been in a relationship for a while, but the amount of gifts I have gotten from the other gender, one person, you would literally think that I'm in a relationship. So that's what men do a lot. They want to spoil you, which is good. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's like, okay, nice, thank you very much.
Let's check your character, because at the end of the day, these are things that would determine how your relationship will go. Now that we've confirmed that gifts are going to be involved, good, you are spoiling me. What about your character? Will I be receiving gifts and be crying, or will I be smiling? It's not like relationships don't have issues. They do. Some issues, some kind of issues, but not the kind of nonsense issues that some guys expect you to take from them, e.g. domestic violence, physical abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse. All those things are a no-no. They are a no-no. So you can only figure things like this out, some, not all, from your conversations with people. And when you really take your time with people, you tend to figure them out. Then you also asked about your relationship with God. I would say in your 30s you are, I don't want to use the word closer, but the truth is, yes, in your 30s you are sort of closer to God. You leave things to God. In my 20s, I would say there were situations where I went before God because I had a gut feeling that this step I was taking was wrong, but I still, decided to do it anyway. And at the end of the day, I did not like the results. That was really me just going before God. Do you get? So I spent my 20s making a couple of mistakes. Being in your 30s teaches you to slow down. There are some certain things that are not your battle. In fact, so many things are not even your battle. Let God direct you, if that makes sense. Let God direct you. It depends. I'm not trying to say that I'm the most holy person here. I am still on a very slow journey. I will even say slow because I'm struggling. Slow journey with God, but I have learned to listen. That is the honest truth. I have learned to listen. Would I say I listen to everything he says now that I'm even 30? No, in your 30s can be a little messy, to be very honest. Maybe one day I'm going to talk about it, but your 30s can also be messy. But for the most part, when you are messing up in your 30s, you already know the outcome. So when the outcome comes out, you are ready. You're not a mess. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying, but yeah, in your 30s you are honestly closer to God. Then with family, well, it depends on the family you come from. Thankfully, I have a very good relationship with my brother, so they're not the ones to make me feel a certain way because I'm 30 plus or whatever. However, African parents now, they have a way of chipping in things like, when are you getting married? Are you sure you don't want to consider this person? Are you sure your taste is not high? Are you sure you're not looking for the wrong things? All these things. But they're just being parents. And you are able to navigate it in your 30s easier because you tend to now understand where they are coming from. They're not coming from a place of they're not coming from a bad place. Do you get? They're not coming from a bad place. In my 20s, when they used to do it, I would be so furious. I would be so angry. Some days I would cry. I hated that question. But right now in my 30s, it's almost like okay. When they ask, I'll be like, we are waiting on the Lord, because it's the Lord we are actually waiting for. Just keep praying for me. You get? The right man will find me wherever he is. So I kind of learned how to navigate these situations better instead of getting upset the way I used to in the past. So yeah, that's about it. Then the next question is, do you find yourself dealing with stress or pressure differently? Yeah, I think this I've answered. This is similar. Yeah, I would say yes, it's different in your in your 30s. It's different. You have almost zero tolerance for some certain things. So when you see something that is going to stress you, you avoid it. Even if you decide to partake in that thing, sometimes you already know the outcome, but the outcome does not take you by surprise. So when you get there, it's like, okay, it will still pay you, but it's like, okay, yeah, I kind of saw this coming. Pressure, I don't feel any form of pressure, to be very honest. Like, I kind of feel like the minute you free yourself from the shackles of the society's expectations of you, your parents' expectations of you, anybody's expectations of you, you'll be better for it. So it's like, yes, I know my parents want me to do this, do that, do this, do that. I would love to, right? But at the end of the day, it's going to happen when it's going to happen. Nothing can be done about it. And I am not going to, take a step that I don't want to take simply because the society wants me to, or simply because my parents want me to, or simply because my friends or my family wants me to. No, I will only take that step when I feel like it's from God, no matter what I'm doing. So once you free yourself from the shackles of people's expectations of you, you're not going to, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. And when you also free yourself from self-pressure, because some of you don't have anybody pressuring you, you are the one pressuring yourself, and that's the worst kind of pressure. And I would always use, let me say, because he said I should explain, I would always use, for example, marriage as an example, because anytime we talk 30 plus, when the conversations are like any conversation that has to do with a woman being 30 plus, most likely it's always marriage, right? So let me use marriage as the example. So let us say I decide to get married for so many reasons. It could be because my parents have said I should get married. It's because I feel I should be married. It's because that is what the society expects of me. Once I am done celebrating, once you are done with your wedding, shroud, white, cut, once that ceremony ends, it is basically you and that person. You guys will go back to reality. You guys will go into your home, and it's basically just going to be two of people, and you're supposed to be with this person for the long run. How long are you going to, let's just even say anytime there's problems, you call your parents, how long do you want to keep doing that? Everybody's going to leave you. At some point your parents will be like, please settle things with your husband. Like, they will literally tell you to leave them alone. So why do you consider these people when you're making long-term decisions? Why do you consider every other person but you? At the end of the day, you are supposed to be saying yes or no. Why is his wants and every other person's wants bigger than yours? Why are you telling yourself that you have to do this because of your age, not because it feels right in your heart to do it? Why? So yeah, I handle pressure differently, because I know that at the end of the day, whatever decision I make is going to affect me, and nobody will be able to save me from some certain silly decisions I make. I'll be the one that will have to pull myself out of it. So I deal with it totally differently. I am very selfish when it comes to some certain decisions, and when it comes to marriage, yeah, I am actually very selfish when it comes to it. I honestly would love to give my parents grandchildren. I would love for everybody to be happy, but at the end of the day, I need to, in my heart, know that I am doing what is right for me and not for anybody. That's it. Okay, so the next question is, what is your take on microblading? I can't really say much. I've never microbladed my brows before. Yeah, the ones I've seen so far face to face, I really don't like some, not all, but most of the ones I've seen, I do not like what they look like. Sometimes they look like very old tattoos. Yeah, but that's about it. So many people around me haven't done it, so I can't really say much about it, but I'm guessing people now do it better now, because I've seen a lot of people get their brows microbladed, but I can only judge from what I see on Instagram, and so far so good. They look nice, but I honestly haven't thought of getting my I've never thought of getting it, so I can't really say much about it. Yeah, sorry. How do I start romanticizing my life? For me, I would say one of the first steps I took into romanticizing my life would be working on my space. That's creating a cozy space for myself. I invested in scented candles, because I really like, when I watch movies, I see people do all those things. I really liked it, so I was like, you know what, let me do it for myself. So I got scented candles, I got diffusers, and I fell in love with it, because at the end of the day, it makes my room smell good. It makes me also feel really good. You can also invest in soft lighting, so it's like having small lights, not the big lights. You just have like bedside lamps, you know what I mean, like mood lights. Invest in things like that. They tend to set the mood and put you in a certain energy that I really love. I would also say take out time to pamper yourself. There was this video I saw, a girl literally like on candles in her shower. She even went as far as, you know, putting rose petals on the, you know, on the floor of her showers, and it was really, really beautiful. Basically, romanticizing your life is making every single thing seem special. When you're cooking, you know, on your candles, put a glass of wine if you're into alcohol. If not, get yourself a glass of juice, play musics you love, explore new hobbies, guys. Explore new hobbies. Try and make everything very enjoyable. I still struggle with going to the gym, but I want to keep fit, and one of the ways I'm trying to figure out how to enjoy working out is finding a sport that I really like. I just want to keep fit. I don't necessarily right now have a goal in the gym, but I want to always stay fit. So I am thinking of trying Pilates. If I like it, then I would continue it. Do you get? Because I probably would enjoy Pilates as compared to what I'm doing currently at the gym right now. Do you get? I also plan on trying tennis to see whether I really like it. I like tennis feet, so I would love to see if I would also like the game. Those of you who love reading, when you're reading, pour yourself a cup of tea, of whatever you guys drink when you're reading. You know, just make everything very special. That is one of the ways, guys. It's literally making the best of your situation. There is no mathematics or science to this thing. It's just making the best out of whatever situation that you're in. That's really it, guys. That is really it. What's your advice for a person who lacks self-confidence and feels like she hasn't achieved? Okay, now, so from your question, I kind of feel like the reason you feel less confident is because you feel you haven't achieved enough. My honest advice to you is that you need to give yourself time and stop being hard on yourself. Honestly, whatever goals you want to achieve, just make sure you are working towards it. It may be slow. Some people may move faster, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It doesn't. And don't get me wrong, I know it's not easy, like seeing your age mates do better while you are still struggling. I know it's not the easiest thing. However, your time is your time. I have age mates that are doing way better than me, but of what good will it do for me if I sit here and start comparing myself with them? I tend to focus on all the things I have been blessed with. So I would say you need to give yourself time. Take it easy on yourself. Your time is going to come. Just make sure you are working towards the woman you want to be. Whatever you want to achieve, just make sure you are focused and you are working on it. It is going to come. One thing I will always tell my friends is that there is no first position for who achieved whatever they needed to achieve. Just work towards whatever goal you want to work towards, and everything will fall into place. This is another question I really like. Does the pressure of being successful in your 20s get lesser when you become 30? Yes. Yeah. The difference is you're not going to be under pressure. Does that make sense? You will still want to be successful, but you're not going to be under pressure. You're not going to be killing yourself unnecessarily, guys. Like, if you can, stop it now. Stop it now. Stop it now. Like, don't even stress yourself. Just work on whatever you can work on, but do not stress yourself. Okay? Like, yeah, it gets lesser when you're in your 30s. It does get lesser. Speaking from my experience and so many people around me, in your 30s you are a little bit more chill, because what is going to happen is going to happen. Okay, so yeah, I hope I answered your question well. Okay, so the next one is, do you ever feel the pressure to get married? My answer is no. Don't get me wrong, there are times where I'm like, oh my god, where is this man I'm supposed to be getting married to? Like, where the hell is he? But I do not feel any form of pressure. And this may come off wrong, but I feel like one of the major reasons I am not so pressured to get married is because of how many bad marriages I have seen in this part of the world. The only reason I know, or rather I'm holding on to the fact that they are good marriages, is because God has blessed me and my friends in such a way that I have 2 friends who are married, and I would say they are doing marriage right. They are married to men that understand what God wanted marriage to be, God's reason for creating marriage in the first place. Do you understand? I am so blessed to have these 2 people that I look up to when it comes to marriage, and these are the relationships that when I see, I'm like, okay, that's fine, I'm not going to settle. It has to be something like this, because there are men like that exist, men that understand their assignment on earth when it comes to marriage. If not, guys, like, I don't know about anybody, but Nigeria does not make you hungry for marriage. Except you want to just get married for the sake of it. You want to just answer a married woman, or you want to escape bills. If that's the situation, then fine. But for me, like, marriage is more than trying to escape my bills. Marriage is more, and so for that reason, I do not feel pressured. I do not feel pressured. I want to actually do it right. Do you understand? So I do not pressure myself. I really want to be genuinely happy with the person that I am getting married to tomorrow. I want to be happy in my marriage. I want to be happy. I don't know how to explain it. And I'm not talking of just when people say, oh, I want to be happy, most times people base it on just solely money. Like, if money was the root of all happiness, guys, I won't be having rich people getting divorced. That should let you know that aside the money, there are just so many things that need to exist in a marriage for it to really thrive. And so those are things that I'm thinking long term. So I'm not pressured at all. I am honestly patiently waiting. Very, very patient. Okay? If I lose my patience, I will let you guys know. But for now, I am so patient. Like, I am willing to wait. Okay, so this person asked, what are your plans for marriage? Because what are my plans for marriage? Like, it's a crazy question. What are my plans for marriage? Marriage is not something that I alone can plan. I need somebody who is in agreement with me. We have to make that decision together and plan. So it's not something I can do on my own. But I would like to think what you're asking is, do I want to get married? I think that's what I'm getting out of this. Yeah, I would love to get married. I would love to have kids. I would love to have my own mini family. It's something that I have always wanted. It's something that I am willing to patiently wait for, because I just don't want to have it for the sake of it. I could have a baby tomorrow. I could have 2 kids tomorrow. I could literally get married if I wanted to anybody, right? But I want to do it with the man God wants for me. So yeah, my plan is to wait on the Lord. Go. And somebody asked, are you dating somebody? No, I'm not, guys. I'm not dating anybody. Anyhow, that brings me to the end of this Q&A. I'm so happy I was able to get this done. Yeah, I should do more sit down videos. That's the only way I can honestly work on communicating with you guys, because one of the reasons I run away from sit down videos is that I struggle, guys. I really struggle to just talk to the camera. I kind of feel like I speak better when I'm around people. Actually, I know I speak better when I'm around people, but when I'm in front of my camera, I just lose my train of thoughts because I'm almost talking to nobody. But I guess I need to keep practicing and I would get better. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment, and if you have anything to add, any more questions, I would like to see them in the comments section. Let's get the conversation going. There are going to be people looking out for your opinions, and yeah, do not forget to like. If you enjoyed the video, please share to your friends, and I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye guys, love you.